Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts about the 40K universe. I am your host Gershwan and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today, we talk about humans, but not ordinary humans. We're talking about abhumans. Let's get into 40 facts about the Ogryn. The Ogryn, also known as Homo sapiens gigantus, are a huge and physically powerful abhuman mutant subspecies of humans, often employed as shock troops in the Imperial Guard by the Imperium of Man. The Ogryns are the toughest and largest soldiers commonly used by the regiments of the Imperial Guard, originating from cold, barren, high-gravity prison planets settled many millennia before the founding of the Imperium of Man. The Ogryns' distant ancestors were once normal humans during the dark age of technology. Thousands of standard years in the harsh terrains and the start of the Age of Strife, caused by the fall of the interstellar civilization of mankind, forced their ancestors' bodies to adapt to their hostile environment. The adaptation to the high-gravity environment, as described, is the reason for the Ogryns' thick skin, powerful muscular build, and resulting monstrous size. Though their adaptations led them to increase in physical size and strength, the Ogryns' intelligence declined below average human levels. As the planetary conditions that caused their mutation required only primitive survival instincts, part of their adaptation involved the loss of the ability for more complex intellectual thoughts, since philosophical matters were unnecessary in an environment marked by starvation and constant fighting. Ogryns are said to be even less intelligent than some orcs. The truth is that their intellect did not actually devolve, but became much more focused on matters such as survival. Ogryns are claustrophobic, which means that they can only, with great difficulty, be loaded into armored carriers to be transported into the battlefield, and can only ride in vehicles if a commanding officer is present. As many as half a squad may be mounted on a chimera. This slightly slows their deployment speed. The 10th Chamber Notarius, Planetary Senses, is a subdivision of the Adeptus Administratum that oversees the classification and recognition of stable abhuman strains within the Imperium. Of these strains, 46 types are now listed as extinct, and no records have been received of a further 12 strains for over a generation, suggesting that they too have died out or been assimilated back into the general population of mankind. The status of the remaining 15 abhuman races is quite varied, and there is permanent disagreement about their specific classification amongst this governmental body. The most noteworthy matter concerning the adepts is the Ogryn matrix of abhuman strains. This complex group is currently officially listed as 7 distinct types: Alpha, Theta, Type 4, Type 7A, HS, Gigantus gigantus, HS gigantus cranopus, and the mysterious Grey Ogryns. But many in the chamber doubt that these are all separate subspecies, and yet another official revision of the classification is therefore pending. When the Ogryns were rediscovered on their home worlds during the Great Crusade, the Imperial Army saw their military potential and began recruiting the Ogryns as close combat soldiers. The recruitment process was relatively easy by Imperial standards, as the Ogryns hardly needed any training. Most Ogryns are quite capable of bringing down almost any enemy, and their natural combat skills make them good assault troops. The officers of the Imperial Army, and after the Horus Heresy reshaped the Imperium, those of the Imperial Guard, also found the Ogryns were extremely loyal once introduced to the Imperial state religion of faith in the Emperor of Mankind, the Imperial Cult. They are known to believe and do anything their leaders say and ask, and see the orders they receive as having come down the chain of command from the beloved God Emperor himself. Ogryns are known for their inability to understand complex commands and tactics. This simple-mindedness has also contributed to the big abhuman's reputation as being notoriously easy to corrupt to the service of chaos. Their skin is extremely thick, and Ogryns can ignore wounds that would cripple or kill a man. As they are brutal and direct, they favor knuckle dusters and knives for close combat. Ogryns in Imperial service are issued with special large auto shotguns, known as Ripper guns for range combat and clubbing at melee. The use of frag grenades is also popular among Ogryns. Although believed to possess extremely low intelligence, some Ogryn may have a slight higher level of intelligence than others. This boosts their chances to be chosen as candidates for the biochemical Ogryn neuroenhancement procedure, also known as bone, which raises their intelligence further. These relatively smart Ogryns are given the title Boneheads, and as they are able to understand more complex orders, they are placed in command of a squad of normal, unaugmented Ogryns. Many are able to remember their own names, count some of their fingers, or even make tactical decisions beyond hitting things. Boneheads are often the brains of their units, and other Ogryns look to them for leadership both on and off the battlefield. To other Ogryns, the fact that a bonehead even holds this rank is often reason enough to obey, and most are content to trust that anyone who remembers as much as a bonehead probably knows best anyways. As such, a bonehead's unit often has little disciplinary problems and a clear established hierarchy, assuming everybody remembers what they are supposed to be doing at any given time. Boneheads are brutal but effective leaders, bellowing orders over the din of combat, and punctuating their shouts with vicious blows from their oversized weapons. When the average Ogryn is clumsy and ungainly, Boneheads are much more coordinated than their primitive brethren, and are able to wield weapons with surprising dexterity. Despite their abilities, they are not particularly well equipped compared to other guard units, often fighting with the same weaponry as their unaugmented brethren. The main difference between a bonehead and his squad mates is the cerebral implants and modifications to their thick skulls. Despite their crude and sturdy appearance, these implants are actually quite sophisticated and capable of withstanding a fairly substantial amount of punishment. In combat, the procedures enacted upon a bonehead's brain are put to the ultimate tests, as they are confronted with numerous decisions and obstacles in their head. However, their determination and inhuman stubbornness often see them through such situations, while their unique physiology more than compensates for any lapse in judgment. Despite their intelligence, boneheads naturally exhibit many qualities that define a good leader. They tend to be driven individuals, stubborn to a fault, and unwilling to back down or admit defeat, even amongst the most hopeless situations. Such dedication is often born of absolute faith in their superiors. Some boneheads trust implicitly and without reservation. They are also not afraid to lead from the front, providing an example to their fellow Ogryns and encouraging them with simple, intuitive commands, accompanied by bursts of fire from their ranged weapons. No amount of cerebral tinkering can completely eliminate the bonehead's base instincts, and even the most intelligent individuals suffer from bouts of savagery. Some boneheads are even equipped with implants to magnify or enhance these tendencies, turning them into engines of destruction once certain criteria are met or triggered phrases uttered via their vox links. There are some Ogryns to whom the allure of smashing their enemies to a pulp and breaking their bones with blows from their massive fists is particularly appealing. These are called bulwarks. In combat, a bulwark is the embodiment of primitive savagery and rage, fighting without thought of restraint or self-preservation. They instinctively attack every enemy within range, swinging their weapons with such bone-crushing force that armor buckles and body shatter in their wake. The sight of a bulwark on the battlefield often provides tremendous encouragement and inspiration to his comrades as he smashes through all who stand before him. Some regiments view their Ogryns as sort of a champion, sending them forward wherever particular vicious adversaries appear, and looking to him when all seems lost, and the unit is on the verge of being overwhelmed. At other times, the bulwark may instead serve as the rock upon which the unit is grounded, an unbreakable foundation for his comrades to cling to, and an excellent example of faith and devotion. An Ogryn's range weapon proficiency may vary greatly from individual to individual, often coming down to the Ogryn's individual dexterity and whether or not he is able to remember how to operate the firearm. There are many Ogryns who derive substantial enjoyment from the mere act of firing their weapon regardless of accuracy, instead reveling in the raw destructive power in their hands as they thoughtlessly expand countless rounds of ammunition downrange. Such Ogryns are usually truly colossal creatures whose bulging muscles and gigantic stature allow them to manipulate their oversized weapons as effortlessly as a normal man might wield a lasgun. These are called gunluggers. Once they begin firing, gunloggers rarely stop until they either run out of ammunition or opponents. They are often seen sweeping their great weapons back and forth in wide arcs during the battle, grinning stupidly as they pulverize their targets with concentrated streams of high-caliber fire. Many gunloggers carry other items to add to their destructive capabilities in addition to their firearms, including grenades, anti-tank bombs, incendiary devices, and other simple explosives which they have hurled at enemy positions. Due to their constant exposure to enemy fire, some gunloggers hold reputations for outstanding bravery and determination amongst the units they fight beside, serving as mobile rally points and potent examples of bravery to any faltering allies. And those were 40 facts about the Ogryns. There's going to be a part 2, and then we're going to continue with more awesome abhuman lore, so please subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening, liking, and commenting. That really helps. Now the giveaway is probably going to be announced tomorrow. We filmed it, but I accidentally erased it, so we have to do it again. Same winners though, but stay tuned for that. And again, thank you so much for watching. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.